Hello and welcome to Broadsword Wargaming. In this video, we're going to be doing a faction focus on Adeptus Mechanicus for Warhammer 40,000 Kill Team. The Adeptus Mechanicus is a technological organisation, often known as the Priesthood of Mars. Their forge worlds turn out the Imperium's most powerful and advanced weaponry, and all in the name of the Omnisire. Hello and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, please do think about subscribing for more videos to come. But for this video, I am joined by the lovely Sean.
Hello.
And we are going to be talking about Adeptus Mechanicus. He's brought his models along. You've played a few games with these guys now.
I've played a couple of games.
40k and Kill Team. We've just done a battle report as well, which will probably be out by the time this video is out, so do check that out. Had mixed success overall.
I've had some bad luck.
Yeah.
They're not a poor kill team. I've just had terrible dice rolls.
But you know a bit about them, so he's going to fill us with his robo information and pass it along to you guys and see if we can help you out. So let's get to it. Why play Adeptus Mechanicus?
The Adeptus Mechanicus are a pretty versatile faction, and if you think robo legs sound like a good idea, this might be the faction for you.
Pros.
They're quite a versatile kill team. Anything that you go up against, you can potentially bring an answer to it. They're also a reasonably elite baseline infantry army. You're not going to have a huge amount of models, but the models that you bring are all going to be worth bringing.
You can also pick a different forge world to draw your faction from. So this is a bit like chapters for Space Marines, right? We're talking Ultramarines or Salamanders. You get the same thing for these. You get Mars,
Metallica, Ryza, Lucius, there's quite a few.
And at the start of each turn, these guys can generate canticles, which are special abilities that spread faction-wide for that round. Really handy.
You can also build a reasonably effective one-box kill team with these guys, bringing both Rangers and Vanguard. You might not have the correct answer for everything you come up against, but they're relatively cheap, so you can't complain.
Cost-effective team.
Cost-effective, exactly.
Cons. The Adeptus Mechanicus are a fairly weak team, I would say overall, at toughness 3. That kind of puts them into that second tier. They're not always great coming against your toughness 4 opponents. And their armor, although not the best, it's not 3+ or 2+, it isn't actually the worst, it's just a 4+ armor, but combine that with the toughness 3, you're gonna die quite a lot of the time.
It's kind of easy to lose models there. Another downside is, while you can bring the right answers to anything you go up against, if you bring the wrong answer, you're gonna have a bad time. If you bring the wrong tool for the job, well, you brought the wrong tool.
Special abilities.
So the first thing you're going to want to pick for your Scutarii kill team is your Forge World. There's a couple that are worth looking at. Mars lets you take 2 canticles, which is of middling value. Sometimes it's great, sometimes you get the wrong canticles. Metallica is a particularly good option if you need to get somewhere in a hurry. It lets all of your rapid-fire weapons become assault weapons. You can advance with a -1 to hit, but you can still advance and shoot. Agrippina is also a pretty good option. It lets you do all of your Overwatch on a 5-up. If you're up against a close combat army, that's a pretty good answer.
That'll hold them at bay, I think. Yeah, you want to get those kills in when you can. Not a bad one.
If you're up against Tyranids, you've got a lot of shooting.
Overwatch.
Hitting on 5s, some of that is going to go through. And last up would be Ryza. This lets you reroll wound rolls of 1 in the fight phase. With a close combat army and the right composition, that can be a big deal. And it's a Forge World, it's an option you take for free, so no downside there.
Another great ability is these guys all get a 6-up invulnerable save, kind of at worst. Some models, like Electro Priest, get a 5-up. Others, even if they kill a model, will get a 3-up invulnerable save for the entire game. And a 6-up faction-wide actually is quite nice. 1 in 6 times you're going to deny a wound to yourself, potentially not dying.
I wouldn't like to rely on it, but I'm not going to complain that it's there. So for stratagems, you've got a lot of good options, but I think the main ones that you want to keep an eye on are the Trauma Override Protocol. This is going to let you add 1 to your invuln, which is going to make your invuln a 5-up at worst. It goes up to a maximum of 3-up, but a 3-up invuln and kill team is not bad. Dune Strider is another particularly good one if you need to get to a place in a hurry and still be able to shoot. Lets you roll 2 dice for your advance and pick the highest. No worries there. Another particularly good one is Reknit Circuitry. for a single CP, you can shrug off up to D3 flesh wounds from a model. That can make a really big difference.
Yeah, it stops you killing them. If you've got those snipers on the back of the board, you're going to be hitting a lot better. That's quite nasty.
Yeah, I mean, your plasma guy suddenly is shooting at 3 up again.
No!
Potentially 2 up with the right combination. So, yeah.
Some good tactics. A standard kill team roster.
The Adeptus Mechanicus Scitarii can answer pretty much any problem. That being said, you're going to want to tailor your list to your opponent. However, a good example of a well-rounded list would bring a Sicarian, either an Infiltrator or Ruststalker. That kind of depends on how you feel like playing them. Infiltrators can infiltrate, Ruststalkers focus primarily on melee. You're going to want to bring a unit with a Transuranic Arquebus. You've also got access to Plasma and the Plasma Calva, and a pretty good special weapon in the Arc Rifle. You've also got good melee options. You could bring a Vanguard who has -1 toughness to anything in melee with them, and a Taser Goad or a Power Sword.
You can bring with these guys. We've played a few games now. The multi-damage weapons or the high AP weapons are great for knocking out high toughness or multi-wound characters, and getting those damage through as a shot that does 3 damage is most likely to kill something. So that is, guys, the big sniper guys.
That's your Arquebus, yeah. They work sometimes, but when they work, they really work.
Yeah, the buggers. You could build a really strong combat list here, I think, as well, with the Electro Priests and the Sicarians. Both a multi-wound model there, and the Electro Priests have a better invulnerable save. Getting yourself into combat and just destroying people there is quite fun. There's some good canticles as well. The one that lets you deal the mortal wounds for things within 1 inch.
Yeah, you can also give yourself +1 strength, re-rolling ones in the fight phase. They've got the support for a full combat army.
So as you say, totally versatile, entirely up to how you guys want to play them, but a fun faction nonetheless.
And one thing, just as a last note to remember with the Adeptus Mechanicus, while you can randomly generate your canticles at the start of the turn, some people forget you can also pick which canticle you're using.
Quite effective.
That can be kind of effective.
Yeah. You randomize though, right, don't you?
I tend to randomize just because I play Mars, you take 2, randomizing works quite nicely. You got a good chance of getting what you want.
It depends if you want any friends left at the end of the day.
There's also that, yes.
7 plasmas, right? You can get 7 plasmas in this list.
Yeah.
Like 100 points.
That's not going to make you a lot of friends.
Yeah. 7 plasmas, picking your canticles. I think we've covered the basics here and kind of run you through what you can do and how these factions work. Thank you, Sean, for bringing your models down and for filling us with your robo-brain ideas. If you've enjoyed these videos, please do remember to like, share, subscribe, and hit the alarm bell for more videos to come. There's actually a whole host of faction focuses coming along now with some battle reports and a rules video. Very interesting. Do check those out. If you want to support the channel in any way, do check out all the links below. There's Patreon there, which I appreciate all my patrons, so thanks, guys. There's some Amazon affiliate stuff. There's Element Games links to buy your models from. And there's the GEEK Gaming thing to buy all your Scenics and make your models look extra nice and pretty on the battlefield. But again, thanks, Sean, for coming down.
Thanks for having me.
And I'll catch you guys in another video, so take care.